need another cheeseburger.
When they said not everyone deserves a podcast, we didn't listen. The Middle Class Holes. Well, we just got done with our little family vacation to the old Great Wolf Lodge in good old Perryville, Maryland, right outside the Hollywood Casino, Perryville. And I gotta tell you, man, how should I say this? The fitness of the American public was on full display.
Or lack thereof. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, at the water park, man. It's so disappointing. I mean, I don't go in there to be creepy or anything, but it is nice to, like, go to a place where bathing suits are and maybe have a little drip or drap or droop-a-doop of, like, eye candy hither and thither.
To say that, like, the weekend before last, I was in Ocean City when Senior Week was there.
God. And you look away. Sunglasses on,
I had to keep my face buried in the book.
Like, my God.
I'm either reading or I'm in the goddamn ocean. No, but I did have light beers in these like silicone covers. It's like Arizona iced tea, and the tea is misspelled, and Diet Coke. Yeah,
nice, very nice. Diet cake.
The rule of thumb with Diet Cake. The rule of thumb with that is just don't be a jerk. You know what I mean? If you're inconspicuous, if you're casually sipping beers, if you're quiet, you're not blasting music, rampaging around, the lifeguards aren't really going to care.
But the beers? Yeah, as long as it's not glass. They are hunting glass, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. And that makes sense, because people are going to just slice their fucking feet open. Don't be a dick. Don't take glass to the beach.
Yeah. Anyway, I digress. Great Wolf Lodge. You saw a lot of Body by Jakes, Billy Blades, Billy Blanks.
Well, I think what's disappointing is, like, the dudes... Men in America are working out again. And honestly, the men that were over the age of 40, like myself, we all seem to be in the better shape of everybody. And I get it. Like, you're younger. You've just had kids. You got the little ones. You ain't got a lot of time for hitting the gym. I understand. But, man, there was a lot of, like, you know, these 35-year-old moms, like, you know, they've got the kid. He's like 12, maybe. Like, it's like, come on, babe. You need to get yourself back out there. Right? Come on, get yourself on the treadmill. I end up doing
I will give you a hall pass on being annoying on social media to get yourself back in shape. Fine. Get it.
But just passable shape. I'm not talking like fitness model. I'm not talking Instagram or Facebook featured. Like, here's my workout. Impossible. Here's my protein fucking meal prep for the week. No, I'm not talking about that. But just tone and just normal. I felt bad because there was a few guys I almost was like, hey, I've been working out pretty hard myself. Got to dial my diet in. What are you doing? I always wanted to have conversations with the guys about their bodies more than I wanted to have conversations with the ladies about their bodies, at least in my mind. But I started doing this thing. I call it concession ogling. And that's where you find someone who may not be all that attractive, but you find their most attractive feature, and then you just admire that one little part of their body. Could be some nice glutes, you know, along the side, not the back, but along the side. Maybe it is a nice shape just on the back, but the front maybe's spilling over a little bit. Maybe there's some good cleavage. You got it. But again, I don't think I could have built a good body out of the entire water park. It was
you couldn't Mrs. Potato Head put something together?
Nope. The whole fucking park, dude. And, you know, that's not why I was there, but it was kind of eye-opening because you see a lot of times on Facebook these pictures from the 1970s, and the question's always, what do you know about this photo? Everybody's in okay shape. They're not Zac Efron circa Baywatch or anything, but they're like Robert Downey Jr. circa Iron Man, you know,
sure.
Not
some
shredded,
muscle tone.
But yeah.
If you have a gut, it's a small little protruding, and you can tell underneath there's some definition. You know, your legs are fit, your body's fit, sweating, glistening. You know, the suntan's beaming. Man, I need a fan here.
You're getting a little breathy on yourself. All right. You know, but I digress. It's a water park. It's for families. They do a decent job of keeping that place up and running. I got to give some props to one of the employees there. I actually went on the app to see if I could find an employee list just to give him like a pat on the back because nobody ever does that. Some little kid just decided he was going to dive into one of the tubes for an inflatable. It's you don't go down the inflatable ones. You're going to beat the piss out of yourself against the walls. They're much.
It behooves you. Well, basically, it's required, but it behooves yourself to go down the slide with a inflatable because it's just not designed. It's going to beat the shit out of you. That's
after you hit the first plunge, the very next thing you're going to hit is a solid fucking plastic wall, maybe the edge of a fiberglass structure contained within to turn the water up. You're going, and that's the whole point of the ride, is to beat against the wall and bounce back and go, bah! And this little kid must have been 6, maybe 7 years old. Just dove right in. This is the thing, had a life preserver on. The guy squeezed him up between his legs and was like, "Hey, buddy, no, you gotta have a tube." And this kid just decided to thrash and scream at the sky. And every time he tried to pick him up, he tried to squirm out of his arms and dive through the tube. And this kid must have been 17, maybe 18 years old. And he was looking around going, "I don't know what to do." I said, "Well, whatever you're doing's fine, bud. You just keep doing that." And I kind of gave him a little buddy clap. And he got his little walkie on. Somebody came up. No parents. This went on for 30 minutes. William and I went up and rode our slide 3 or 4 times before they even got this kid off the platform. Don't know what his issue was. Don't know what. But every time they even gently released their grasp from him, he was just going for it. No rationalizing with him. No, buddy, hey, where's your parents? Nothing. And again, the question is, where the fuck were the parents? Like,
yeah. At that point, if he's been, how long was he being held for?
Probably 30 minutes, at least. Yeah, 30 minutes.
If I'm a parent, presumably I'm somewhere nearby. I'm like, where the fuck is little Jake at? That's a shame too. And you almost, in a perfect world, you want to say, go, just fucking go hurt yourself. Go find out why we don't let people go down this without a fucking inner tube. Now, you can't do that. It's there's liability things involved. The kid gets injured, the parents could sue, blah 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 blah. But perfect.
I guess. I mean, this kid was doing, and so to Aiden, either Aiden A or Aiden C, whichever Aiden you were, well done. I did tell him, good job up there, buddy, because he was coming down the stairs after 30 minutes, just sweating, holding on to just a greased pig of a child trying to go down this fucking water slide. It was, but again, Great Wolf Lodge, they do a good job for what they are. They utilize their space very well. They've got some magic game that makes no sense with the theme of the entire attraction, but it forces you to walk the full facility, swiping a wand at fucking random objects on a wall. It keeps them busy, takes about a day and a half to play. Got that done. I won the fucking, the super prize on one of the arcade games. Not once, not twice, but thrice, my friend. Walking out of there. Yeah. I mean, I got us a very quality $70 stuffed toy to take home.
Well, I don't know if I have a pinched nerve in my neck. So upper back, lower neck, right around where the thoracic starts. And this past Saturday, I was at my 25-year high school reunion. And I kept thinking I'm going to have to preface every conversation I have with someone like, hey, if I'm like leaned weird or standing, cockeyed at 10 degrees, it's because of this. Luckily, the alcohol and the anti-inflammatory I had kicked in.
Yeah.
But so at my mom's house, where 4 other people, well, it was supposed to be 4, it turned into 3, were supposed to stay the night. We have window units in the bedroom because my parents didn't have, HVAC. And my brother's old room, I think there's 3 of them up there. And I think I just randomly grabbed the one that doesn't work anymore. So I went up. This is after the reunion and after another brewery that we went to really, really tie one on, and came back and drink more for the Knicks win, the game 5 of the finals. I was like, all right, well, I got to change it. I got to swap it out. This is the room I'm staying in. And drunkenly lost grip, and that fucker fell 3 floors. And I checked it out the next morning. I'm not saying it disintegrated, but there was like 60 pieces that I had to pick up around the yard.
Nice. That is grade A Wes Fox ingenuity right there.
I think I like, the window's a little small. Like, so you can't really you can only get like your neck and head out. And I think I looked down and I was like, oh man, yeah, I'll get that in the morning. Just put the other one in, went to bed.
Oh God, that's the thing that freaks me out about cities. Our legal counsel lives up in New York City, and imagine you tried that and you're on like the 70th floor.
70th floor? Yeah. You're not third floor where I was, someone's going to die. And if you don't die, it's because it wasn't a direct hit. And if it's not a direct hit, you're still going to be fucked for months, probably years. Yeah, 70th floor, that doesn't matter. A brick, a speaker, a big powered speaker could hit you, and it's going to cause severe damage. A window unit? Yeah, forget it, man. Get your life insurance in order.
Yeah, because there's like this urban legend if you threw like a penny off the top of the Empire State Building, it would go right through somebody. Mythbusters busted that.
Mythbusters tried that. Yeah, they had like a silicone, like a replica of a human skull, and they got it dialed in, like the gun that was shooting the coins.
If it was able to hit like on its length end without flipping ever, yeah, maybe you put somebody in the hospital. But yeah, the wind's just gonna suck it up. Not gonna happen. But speaking of direct hits, did you get to catch any of the Freedom 250 UFC from the White House?
So I feel bad because I didn't. One, I thought what was it on? Was it on like FX or something? It was on cable,
Paramount.
Paramount. Okay. I could have, and honestly, Sunday, I got back and just started watching World Cup, and and again, this is like because of my neck, and I waited all day to not take anything. I got home after soccer and pizza and a couple beers with Sarah. I popped an anti-inflammatory and a muscle relaxer because that's the only way I can sleep. And then I was like, by 10 o'clock, I was like on that IKEA recliner, like,
dude.
So,
look.
Have seen highlights though.
But I agree. I wanted to go back and just watch because I didn't get to see the first few fights. I think I saw from like the Sugar Shane O'Malley fight all the way through. And usually I'm pissed that these fights don't start until like, I mean, my God, the final fight started at like 12:30. I think I texted you to see if you were watching it, and I was just like, man, I don't. But this is a full day at Great Wolf Lodge. Everybody else in the room is asleep. I've got my iPad. I'm dialed into fucking Paramount Plus. And that last fight, Justin Gaethje versus Ilya, I can't remember how, Tapure.
He might have done irreputable damage. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say that guy's not going to fight anymore, but he might not be the same. Sometimes when you get beat up like that, a little something gets beat out of you and you ain't getting it back.
Dude, I just don't see, and everybody was speculating, I don't know if it's official now, but like cracked orbitals, both sides.
Yeah.
That nose had to be broken, or that's part of the cracked orbital.
I'm shocked they let him go out for another round. I know they stopped it, but I'm surprised the ringside doctor was like, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll get it out there for a fourth.
Well, that was another part of the controversy. So between rounds, they had the doctor evaluate him. I think it was between 3 and 4, and he was fucking hurt. And you could see him take his first real breath at the end of those 60 seconds. And then they had the doctor come over. And I don't know if it's the doctor didn't speak English or if the doctor didn't speak Spanish.
It's DC. It's a different body, athletic commission. It's not Vegas or, what some of these other places that they fight in. I'm not saying that it's an inferior athletic commission, but it's different.
But the cornerman and there, I think his brother was the one saying like, he can fight. And I think his ring guy was like, nah, dude, he's fucking done. And I think the doctor overheard somebody say he's done and went like, no. And then Tapure's like, no, I can go, I can see. And then the ref comes over and separates the doctor and the fighter and the ring guys so that they can actually have a real conversation without any influence. And then the match keeps going, but it's like, well, he just had 2 minutes to rest. And he came out early, and it was like, oh, he's fresh. You give a world-class fighter an extra 60 seconds of sucking air, and he's almost back to normal. And I thought Gaethje was going to end up losing. There's going to be a big controversy. But nah, man. Gaethje just kept hammering. And they both were hammering the shit out of each other. Let's not say the face shows it as a one-way fight. But those liver shots that Gaethje was catching in the fucking rib cage were just deadly. And it makes me wonder, like, you talk about your air conditioning unit falling 3 floors and hitting you and maybe you'll be all right. I don't think any of us normies survive a single direct shot. And I don't know how Homeboy lived 4 rounds.
But he's still pissing blood as we speak. That's how. Yeah, and I got to tell you, I was in awe of the spectacle. And it was a small setup too. I think they only had about 3,000 or 3,500 seats, which you can only do. It's the White House lawn. You're not going to set up 10,000 partial bleachers. But you know, the canopy, the lighting, the intros. It was wild, man. It was very unique.
The star of the night was the United States Marine Corps Band playing everyone's entrance music live. And Justin Gaethje's walkout song, it's like this slow kind of country song, and it was like, "Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down." That was the refrain of that fucking song. Fucking bald eagle on the fucking Jumbotron. Gaethje's reading the Declaration of Independence as he swivels to the camera with the United States flag over his shoulders. God. Walks past the portraits of every president that has ever sat in that Oval Office, only to walk out of the Oval Office to the ring. And then Ilya comes out to his song. Dude, the fucking bull with the smoke coming out of his nose, all the lights turn red, and the United States Marine Corps Band plays El Matador. And they're singing in this the most perfect Spanish, beautiful Spanish guitar. Oh my God. And then the soccer moms came out to protest. It's Trump's birthday. This is above the White House. Nate Bargatze was there. I'm never going to one of his super clean, family-friendly shows ever again. Can we not enjoy anything anymore? I'm sorry that Donald Trump has another 3 years to go. Oh, it's going to be but I'm sorry. I don't necessarily like Donald Trump. But that was awesome.
It has gotten to a point where no matter what, it's grounds for a protest.
Yeah.
Somewhere grounds for woke culture, putting you on the blacklist. And what the fuck does Nate Bargatze have to do or think about any of this? He was there in attendance because it's an event.
Yeah, I know. Well, it was an event put on by Satan, you see? And so now he supports Satan and he co-signs everything Satan co-signs because he loves the UFC. Wait, Satan loves the UFC? Well, I can't like Nate Bargatze because Nate Bargatze likes UFC and Satan likes UFC.
There's a great story that Hunter S. Thompson told where he wound up on a train ride with Richard Nixon from where and to where, I don't know. I think it was long enough for him basically, he got handpicked by Nixon's people, probably the press secretary, to be a passenger next to Nixon on a relatively long train ride. I think it was like an hour or two. And for those of you who don't know, and I didn't know this until I read it, Thompson hated Nixon with a burning passion. Thought that he was fucking Satan. And the rules were Dick doesn't want to talk politics. That's it. Like, you can talk about anything else. And they had, apparently, according to Thompson, they had like a 2-hour conversation about college football. And he walked out and was like, man, I still hate the guy, but that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know. I don't know what Donald Trump is. I just know that anybody, even Bill Maher said, if you sit down with the guy, you're not sitting down with the same guy you see on TV. And I think that most people are multidimensional. I'm not saying that Trump has a lot of dimensions, and a lot of them are probably sour and smell like rotten pudding. I get it. But he obviously has a fair amount of close, you don't necessarily have to call them friends, confidants, whatever you want to call them. There are a circle of people who have been, he swooned them in some way. I don't know. And I guess that has to be through sheer personality, right? I mean, I guess maybe you could say, well, he can offer favors to everybody. Yeah, he could. He could offer favors to everybody. You're right. But anybody in a position of power could do that. So why is one? Yeah. I don't know.
Listen, you can hate his politics and hate the man and still enjoy a UFC event on the White House lawn. You're not a bad person, folks. You're fine.
But this is the conundrum with it. There is no other person who has ever sat in that office who would have the balls to allow Dana White to construct a fucking erector set on the lawn of the White House for human cockfights for the United States of America to enjoy in all of its glory. And I just don't know of anything that's more American than two guys going with fisticuffs. I don't know. And it's not like they were all American fighters.
The only parallel that I can draw is we were setting up AV equipment for the mayor of Baltimore at the time, and it was Rawlings Blake, and one of her Secret Service members had to come in and inspect everything. And I remember he goes to me, he goes, "What's that right there?" Basically, he's asking what every piece of equipment is. "What's that right there?" "It's a power cord." "All right, where's it go?" "It goes into the wall unit to power up the control panel." It's like, "The control panel? What's the control panel doing?" It's like, "All right, well, this one turns the lights on. This one turns the projector on. This one does, microphones." And it was probably 30 minutes of Q&A. I can't imagine what these fucking AV guys got with Secret Service.
Oh, my God. Right. Yeah.
What's that? This is a screwdriver. What do you do with it? "Well, I put it into screws and I turn it to hold things steady." "How do you do it?" "Well, counterclockwise." Damn it. I was about to say counterclockwise.
Wait. You hesitated there. What happens if you turn it the other way immediately following the first turn? Yeah. Yeah, well, and Dana White lost a lot of money on doing that. I think it cost him $2 million just to pull up the grass, and he said it was going to cost him another $2 million to put it back down in the exact spot they ripped it up from. I think $60 million overall just for the construction of the ring on the lawn. I think he also paid for the jet fuel for the most amazing flyover I've ever seen, by the way. Jesus Christ. Listen, I just wish everybody could put a pin on their outrage on certain things and just accept them for what they are. And I think there's not been a better display of people accepting America for what it is than the global community who's been visiting us for the World Cup. You've seen it. Like, what have you seen? What has been your reaction from, like, the TikTok videos, the Facebook, Instagram?
Well, the big one, obviously the one that's gotten the most press and the most, social media shorts and clicks or whatnot, are the Scottish taking over Boston, going to Fenway Park, and Fenway Park basically like, "We're out of beer. We don't have any more fucking beer."
It's everywhere. I saw a bar owner saying that, like, they double ordered. What's the Tenant? Is that their big beer?
I'm not sure. I've been to Boston twice and I don't know.
No. But it's a Scottish beer, and they double ordered like all of their orders, and they were done for. And then they said they ordered again, and the distributor called and said, "I'd love to hook you up with that, but we're out of it now too."
The wells run dry, buddy.
Yeah, they are actually. I think they're actually getting shipments as fast as they can across the ocean just to keep going. And Sam Adams had to do an emergency brew or something like that. They had to empty their bright tanks or some shit, something wild, like beer that was close to finish. They had to fucking go ahead and bottle it just to get it to the bars.
They had to emergency youth authorization of some of the Sam Adams. We're not going to go through the last round of vetting this. Just get it on the streets, baby.
But then the Japanese are in Texas, and they're trying fucking barbecue and brisket, and they're just, the best one is this guy's like, "I don't speak English, but I am very excited. Japan. It's like,
you put anyone who's never been to Texas in Texas. I don't care if it's Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, and then the hundreds of other fucking relatively decent-sized cities. And if you've never wrapped your lips around a piece of slow-smoked brisket, your life's going to change. Japanese, Croatian, Dutch, doesn't matter.
And I didn't realize that ranch was such an American condiment. They're going nuts,
Hidden Valley's
dude.
Talking about, like, we need to hit the Europe market.
Yeah, dude. At least do, like, one of those, like the McRib. Like, fly into Europe twice a year and be like, hey, you guys remember this? Huh?
Yeah.
Remember this creamy, delicious, dairy-based product that you enjoyed so much? A little bit of dill, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of yum.
There was a good one. I guess so. Japan played in Houston, and they went to a Mexican restaurant, and they said, "Oh, well, we didn't order that." Like, no, chips and salsa come with the table. And I was like, "Oh, really?" So the table ate it, and then they filled it back up. I said, "Well, why would you do that?" He's like, "No, look, it's complimentary." Why are you complimenting me? No, it's for the table. And it doesn't, these are free. It doesn't matter. Like you keep eating them, we'll keep bringing it. And he said he felt compelled to continue to eat because the people were so nice to keep bringing it, and it ruined his dinner. He didn't eat a fucking bite of his dinner. Oh, I'm so full. I was like, dude, hey, one, you learned a little something about Mexican restaurants, and two, we've all been there, buddy. We've all ruined the dinner because of too many chips and salsa.
Yeah, well, Norm Macdonald had a great joke about the bread at a restaurant. He's like, to really warm up my appetite. You know what I could go for? A loaf of bread.
That's right. Yeah.
But the Europeans, like the ice, they don't do ice over there like we do ice in every single drink. Air conditioning, they don't have air conditioning. There's a lot of Europeans that are living here and would report back to their brethren like, no, the air conditioning is essential. It's not necessarily a comfort thing. And they're like, bullshit, it doesn't get that hot over there. We're doing hydration breaks at the World Cup because these pussies can't handle the heat, dude. What are you talking about?
In indoor arenas that are
they're
climate controlled.
Yeah, because they had a meltdown, I think a summer or two ago in Britain because it was getting up to, hold on to your seats, 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ooh,
yeah, man. They couldn't take it.
Water those greens, baby.
They thought they were going to die over there. But I think the most complimentary thing that I've heard is how nice we are. Now, some of it, I hate to break it to you, rest of the world.
You weren't in New York when they won the NBA championship.
And not just that, we do smile and say hi to everyone we pass, but we don't necessarily mean it. But it is kind of hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hey, they don't get that over there. Like the French, this one French guy's like, I think four people have said hi to me on the street my entire life. Here in America, every person, hey, how you doing? Hello, how you doing? Hi, how are you? So, the mixing of cultures. You just talked about it. Think about it. Japanese guy in a Mexican restaurant in Texas.
Yeah. I don't speak English. We got you, buddy.
We don't care. It's fine.
You're good.
Everybody going to Walmart, Sam's Club, like these people are freaking out. They're not used to this. Just seeing these these Irish guys were in a Walmart and they're like, they've got a bag. I got my groceries. I guess I can get the air filter for my car too. You sure can, Danny boy.
Football fields of grocery store, clothing, auto, sports, household goods, toiletries, which is about a shop of his own. Deodorant, shampoo, body wash, loofahs, bar soap, women product, razors, shaving cream. It's like 8 aisles.
Yeah. Oh, and then imagine all the candies and gums and chips and jerkies that you can get as you're fucking checking out. Oh, you forgot your batteries? We got those right here too. Oh, need a charger for your phone? A case for your phone? As seen on TV. Hey, look at this. You can get a little fan for hanging around your neck.
What are these? Those are energy drinks. I'll take 6.
And apparently one of the misnomers that they had in their brains before they came over here is that our stadiums weren't going to be able to handle the European soccer fans. And then they're like, oh, there's high school stadiums that seat 70,000 people.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, folks, we demolished, 4 rows of seats in order to accommodate this. And it's still fucking 80, 90,000 people. I can't imagine someone who's, I don't know who's playing in Dallas, but let's just say someone who's their home stadium for the team that they root for in the Netherlands is like 30,000. And maybe they've ventured into Amsterdam to Johan Cruyff Stadium, which I think is like 65, 66. It's very nice. Don't get me wrong. It's beautiful. It's state of the art. But I would like to get me with the camera, them walking into Jerry World for the first time.
Yeah, just looking up at the screen.
Yeah, or LA. Oh my God,
dude. Yeah, and the reason I'd like to bring this up right here is because we just talked about how much we hate ourselves when we put together an amazing event like the UFC on the White House fucking lawn and self-loathe about how bad and evil we all are if we like something of that nature. And then you've got the rest of the world coming in saying, we all thought Americans just stabbed and shot each other all day, every day, and we're hateful and spiteful, and we're segregated and didn't like each other, and then we walk around your cities and towns, and we're amazed at what we see. This is lovely. We'd love to be here. America is the greatest country in the world, and yet the citizens inside are like poisoned for some reason. I don't understand it.
Yeah, that's just weird self-reflection. I don't get it. Like, I can imagine someone being in Kansas City, arguably the barbecue capital of the world, and just, gaining 4 pounds of brisket and rib meat, and then following their team into Seattle and be like, all right, time for more brisket. And then going down to the fish market and watching guys, John Elway, a goddamn 30-pound fucking cod. Whoa. All right.
I don't think I truly embraced the brilliance of the spreading out of the games until I realized that these different cultures are all experiencing different cities because that's where their group teams are playing. And so they're like, Boston right now is Scotland. You know what I mean? And so the Scots are in Boston. That was what a great venue. Same accent. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's right.
Put them there. Oh, the Japanese, they're going to love whatever experience they have. Let's send them to Texas. Oh, man, that sounds hilarious on paper, and I bet it will be on TikTok, and it is.
Yeah.
Send the bigger clubs, that are used to a more metropolitan feel. Just send them to L.A. and let them be mesmerized by the pomp and circumstance of that city. But yeah, dude, well done, everyone. And thank you to our European and international brethren that have come here to help me realize that I am as lucky as I am to be in the country that I am in.
100%. Yeah, I was Friday night for the first USA game. I was at the bar that I go to for the Newcastle matches. And there was a guy from Scotland who is in town for the next 3 months for work, came to that. And he said, I was outside laboring my back, trying to not be a fucking stick in the mud and massage myself and do some stretches. And I didn't have to do that in a bar setting. He came outside to smoke a cigarette and said, I actually came here to hassle USA fans. I came here to kind of be a dick, thinking there was going to be 3 of you. There's 50 of you in there. One, I'm shocked that many of you shelled out to come to watch the first match. Second of all, your team's playing incredible. And third, why are you behind it? You asked me, and I say, one, I've watched United States soccer since 94, and I've been a fan since then because I play soccer, and it's kind of ingrained in my DNA. Two, it's one of the few times we all get to be rooting for the same cause. I don't know what happens in L.A. and San Francisco and Seattle. That is another world away. I couldn't say could be. That is. It's 3,000 miles. I don't listen to their news. I don't know what's going on in those towns. But if I rolled into Seattle to watch a USA match, you know what I'm going to find? USA soccer fans who are going to be hoopla and fucking high-fiving and ready to fucking rock and roll. And it's exciting. It's lovely. And I'm glad. I hope that the longer this tournament goes, we get more international fans coming in here. I hope we get Iranian, Moroccan, Ghana, Croatia. I want to see them all. Come here and wrap your lips around a 12-hour slow-roasted brisket, baby.
Wrap your lips around our sweet smoky meats.
Yeah, that's it. I did do that punchline quickly. I didn't think you knew what I was going to say. Uncle Sam's hog, baby.
Just dripping. Dripping with freedom, baby.
I do want to see someone comment on the fact that MetLife isn't in New York. You told me New York. It's 40 minutes away.
I know, and
we know it's New Jersey.
Everybody's bitching about the walk and not being able to walk to the stadium and stuff. And now I'm just like, we were just finding something to bitch about. Everything's going fine. Yeah. Everything is going fine. But to your point about everybody rooting for the same thing. Look, America isn't super hot on soccer, but we will root for America, generally speaking. By the way, the national anthem on that opening game, I don't know if you heard those two motherfuckers belt that shit out. I don't know. That might rival fucking Whitney, dude. Like, I mean, it has to come in second because there was two of them to pull it off. But my God, what a wonderful rendition of that fucking song. No hoopla, just gorgeous voices, fucking finding unison. That's a metaphor for what we should all find here in America. But I think because we're not as hot on soccer, everybody's tuning in with low expectations, and then when they pull off a 3-1 victory in the opening round. Oh, was it 4? I must have tuned out at 3-1. Jesus, man. But the point is to be pleasantly surprised by something like that. Now you've got people like, oh, they're good. More people are going to tune in. Right. That's more unity, and that's what we need. Right. But we do tend to overperform against bigger teams and underperform against lesser teams, which is always. But not to sound.
And you figure, like, listen, World Cup, this UFC event, the phenomenal NBA Finals, that's 100% overshadowed a good NHL Finals, and you also have the MLB All-Star Game for the 250th anniversary of the United States taking place in Philadelphia. There's a lot to be celebrating in this next 6 weeks.
So I would just personally like to say, just if you have to, I don't know if you can, if you could, just ignore the person in the building and enjoy the country that is ours and everything that it has to offer. And this is what I think you and I were having a personal conversation, and I was just kind of like, sort of, if it went the other way from, like, for the presidency, I feel like we would all be forced to feel bad about ourselves. Well, we've made it 250 years, but it's been a sad 250 years. We should really
go. We got a lot of growing to do. We got a lot of milestones to get over.
And I know a lot of you hate the guy that's there now, but he is the exact opposite. Like, America's the greatest country it's ever been. We're going to celebrate the shit out of it. And I'm kind of in let's celebrate the shit out of it mode. I'm sorry. If that makes me, I guess that makes me MAGA, I guess, because I want to be proud of the country that I'm from. And by the way, diversity, they showed because I don't follow the national team. I didn't know who was on it. And it's like, here's the keeper, obviously going to be a white guy. And it's like, black guy, black guy, black guy, black guy, white guy, black guy, white guy, black guy, black guy. And I went, babe, we're going to be good this year. Diversity will prevail, motherfucker. That's what we need. We need multicultural soccer players, and that's what we have.
We gave up on white guys sprinting in the 30s. All right?
But I was seriously happy. I was just like, fuck yeah, baby.
Yeah.
We've got some dudes that can hang. They're not going to get tired in the fucking 70th minute. We're going to go all the way. We got 90 minutes of us.
Not to get too soccer deep on this, because Derek asked me this. We were having a beer on my mom's back patio prior to going to the 25-year reunion. He asked me what's changed. And I said, what's changed is we have 13 guys from 2022 who are on this team. All right. So you have a unit that has gone from like 21 to 22. A couple of those guys were like 19 and 20 to their mid-20s, who are getting into their prime, who've continued to play together, who have finally convinced themselves we can compete. We can fucking take this fucker a long way. And I saw a report after they beat Paraguay the next day. They weren't celebrating. They're like, yeah, we won, and we got to get back down to business. We got practice. We got Australia coming up in 6 days. Job's not done. I was like, yes. Thank you, dude, boys.
And the way the groups have gone, if we can get one more win, pretty much
the Turkey game's going to be, I said, don't make the Turkey game meaningful. Get the 2 wins. If you lose it because you're playing backups, fine, but don't get that and be like, we have to get 1 point, or else we're 1 or 3 points. If we lose, we're out, because they're a good team. But again, I don't want to get too deep into the USA soccer. We were talking about celebrating Uncle Sam and 250, baby.
Well, of course, I've got a multinational household here, so of course I have to root for. I almost didn't want to put it on. I told her, I was like, "Listen, I can't wear this Ronaldo jersey." He's like, "But he's Portugal." I'm like, "I know, but America's in it, and I don't feel right putting on this red and green here." And I also stupidly, William asked me because I guess that's a big thing going around the elementary school was Ronaldo or Messi, and I kind of didn't hesitate, and I was like, sorry, it's Messi. It just is.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna build a team, I was like, that guy's gonna dribble and score. Like Ronaldo's gonna stand there for 70 minutes until a cross comes perfectly across the middle, and yeah, he's gonna put it in the net for you. But Messi's gonna make four dudes look like they've never played the game before.
Yeah,
and get multiple goals.
Sarah and I were talking about because we watched that Argentina game where he scored the hat trick, and she said, do you think he's the GOAT? And I said, I do, but the only other person that you can make an argument for is Ronaldo. You can talk about Pele and the original Ronaldo and a handful of other guys, but I think at this point, just due to the longevity, 20 years of sustained dominance and really just taking the sport, to where it is today, Ronaldo's the only other person that you could. Yeah, if someone comes up with an argument, I'm not going to be like, no. I mean, that guy was phenomenal for 15 years.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, he still cherry picks and he still hits a hell of a set piece. But again, Messi's a dynamic player. Like he can, if it's crunch time and nobody else is playing well, he can still play well and elevate your team. If the guys on the outside aren't hitting balls in the middle the right way, then Ronaldo is just not
kind of a
presence.
Guy.
Yeah.
At this point. So, all right. Well, I think it's time to get smarter. I think it's time to broaden our American horizons. Get silly.
Let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. We are the Middle Class Holes, Foxman, Murr, and this is Fun Fact Friday, and it is going to be a World Cup-centric Fun Fact Friday. So we've got all these cultures visiting the United States, big soccer cultures, obviously. I know America doesn't celebrate it quite the way they do overseas, and we've talked about the Scotsman taking over Boston. So what are some of the quirky routines that these soccer fans like to pull off in their home country that they're now adopting right here in the good old U.S. of A? So, did you know, right now, during the 2026 World Cup in Boston, members of the Tartan Army, Scotland's famous fun-loving soccer fans, they've been Glasgowifying the city by perching traffic cones on local statues, like George Washington, Bill Russell, and more. This isn't random mischief. It's an export of a beloved Glasgowian tradition dating back to the 1980s. The equestrian statue of Duke of Wellington outside of Glasgow's Gallery of Modern Art has sported an orange traffic cone on its head for decades. Authorities remove it, locals replace it, and now it's become an iconic symbol of cheeky Scottish humor that even inspired Bansky praise and merchandise. So I've seen pictures of this. There are orange road cones on every statue in Boston right now.
Yeah. Well, you said they're cheeky. You might catch a sandbag to the cheek. Fucking around all drunk at night.
Something else beautiful that they've done. Remember the cop slide in Boston? The one that everybody was like, people are dying and getting hurt, and then the cop went down and beats the shit out of himself and comes fucking flying out like a fucking tampon in a lubed up vagina. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Well, they found the park where this is, and now they're taking tumbles straight on through. Boozed up on all of Boston's beer. But
Scots, baby, thank you. Appreciate it.
Did you know, while most fans bolt for the exits, Japanese supporters for their clubs and their national teams famously stay behind to pick up every scrap of litter, leaving the stands absolutely spotless. This tradition, rooted in deep cultural respect, a bird that flies never leaves a trace, went viral at multiple World Cups. Opponents and hosts were left stunned, and the venues were left immaculate. Pure wholesome absurdity in the chaos of football.
I did see that because at Houston, some of the people who for the stadium event staff were like, "Oh my God, this is immaculate." There's like a popcorn kernel, and God bless them. I'm not saying you listen. I go to an Orioles game, I drink a beer, I crush the can, I throw it underneath my seat, and I don't pick it up.
Yes.
There have been some instances. I used to run an auditorium at a hospital that used to have morning rounds a couple days a week at like 6 a.m. And these are post med school students. Most of them are residents trying to get into their respective division of medicine. And they would eat breakfasts. They would like peel oranges and throw them underneath the seats and leave the orange peels underneath there. And I would have to clean them up. And there's a couple times where I was like, I'm going to catch this fucking punk. I'm going to grab the orange peels. I'm going to smash them in his face and say, you don't fucking clean it up, huh? You think this is a fucking cafeteria? You do this in the cafeteria anyway? No, God bless them. That's fucked up, but...
There's no better smell than an orange peel to the face, though. So, joke's on you.
You're going to get mushed by something. Do an orange peel. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, and it kind of makes you feel like a dick, like as just a regular old American doing exactly what you go to a game, you get a fucking thing of peanuts, crack the shells, throw them on the ground, don't worry about it. Well, we're making jobs here, folks. That's what we're doing. We make jobs. Somebody got to clean it up, and we're gonna pay them.
It's always the argument with the cart narc. So someone's paid to clean that up. Someone's paid to pick those up. Like, does that mean you should poop all over the walls in the bathroom because someone's paid to clean the bathrooms up?
They're paid to bring the carts back into the store, not collect them from every parking spot along the fucking parking lot.
Right. And not have them fucking get a gust of wind with a little bit of hill, a little bit of gravity on them, and bash into someone's Buick.
Jesus, dude. I do want to find the person who built the food line in Perryville and decided that parking lot was just dandy when they were done with it.
That third-degree pitch? Yeah.
Yeah, all the way down. There's no stopping it. Like, you have to gently lay the cart against your bumper or it's done for. You're going to chase it. It's over. They should almost put, like, brakes on all their carts just so you don't lose. Asshole.
My fascination with the guy who does the I think it's Christian something or other, the cart narc, rather. Agent Sebastian, sorry. Is that the energy that these people spend to get out of the car, to chase him, to tell him, don't put anything on my car. You're vandalizing my car. If you touch my car again, I'm going to fuck you up. And then they chase him a couple times, and he's actually pretty fit. He runs. He's like, yeah. You're not going to catch me, sir. You're not going to catch me. The energy they spend to do that, they could have grabbed it and walked it fucking 12 feet.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. No,
the irony.
There's two people in this world. It's cart putter backers and cart leave them where they are's. And the leave them where they are's need to be tarred, feathered, and dropped to the bottom of the ocean. But did you know fans of Norwegian club Bodø Glimt wave oversized yellow toothbrushes in the stands like battle flags? It all started in the 1970s when a supporter handed the capo, the guy who's supposed to lead the crowd in their chant, a yellow toothbrush instead of a drumstick for conducting the chants. Now, it's a full merch line and Arctic symbol of quirky defiance against bigger clubs. Nothing says, we're brushing aside the competition like a 2-meter toothbrush in sub-zero winds.
I just thought maybe it had something to do with the dental hygiene of the Norwegian people, but it's much more deep-rooted than that.
But that is what I love about soccer clubs, is like they like these uber inside jokes that turn into this big production. It becomes like their identity in some capacity.
Some grandfather's like, in my day it was 2.5 feet. What? Why is it 6 feet now? Well, that's how this goes. It's progression.
We're growers, not showers, Grandpa.
Yeah, that's right. We all have big jumps.
Did you know Icelandic fans, the Tolfan, perform a synchronized slow build Viking clap, arms raised, a booming "huh" shout, and then claps that speed up into a thunderous roar. It exploded globally during the Euro 2016 and the World Cup, turning Tiny Iceland's matches into epic spectacles. A part war cry, part group hypnosis, hilarious intimidation for the opponents.
I didn't know what it was called. I did see it in both Euro and the World Cup. And, I mean, I don't want to necessarily say I thought it was tacky. I didn't, simply because of the fact it was Iceland. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is not even David. This is David of a small village of 800 people. Yeah, and it is pretty cool. There's you can look this up on YouTube. So Iceland has a professional team, as most Europeans do, or professional league rather, as most Europeans do. And they had this thing where a tier 1 team of 11 played 22 just average Joes, guys like ourselves who can play soccer. So it was 2 goalies, 20 field players versus 11. And I think the pro team ended up beating him like 7-1 or 7-2 or something like that. It was just funny as shit watching 2 goalies try to block shots from 18 yards out. Like, ooh, right. Yeah, just these piss missiles coming in from throws.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Maria said like Ronaldo was doing that clap at some point. Like, and hey, man, I love when stuff like this goes viral. Think about this. Think about like Jack White and the oh, like that's taken over the world. Imagine a song that you wrote with one other person. You know, I mean, the White Stripes were him and Meg, and they, you know what I mean? And then that like one little like bum 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 becomes a global chant sensation.
Yeah,
played at every sporting event.
Because like it started at Penn State and migrated south to where we are. And I thought, like, okay, this shouldn't leave here. You know, this is Penn State and the Ravens. That's it. Maybe the Orioles on occasion. And it's just so fucking popular that you couldn't hold the gates on that puppy.
I'm not gonna lie. The first time I ever heard it was at an O's game, and I thought that it was being produced there because I thought it was like they were saying like the yeah,
that makes sense.
And so I thought that was our thing. But yeah, and so I was very sad when I didn't see it spread, but it's fine. It's fine. It's like the Killers with Mr. Brightside. Like the Europeans, by the way, that song, once it debuted on the charts in Europe, it's never left.
Really?
Yes. It's the longest charting single in the history of music because it's like basically Europe's national anthem at this point. Yeah. So Mr. Brightside has never fucking left the bill, whatever their Billboard charts are over there.
Right. The Billboards.
The Billboards. And finally, did you know when their team scores, thousands of Polish supporters turn their backs to the pitch, link arms, and jump up and down in a massive synchronized wave while singing, creating a sea of bouncing jerseys that looks like a human pogo party. It went mega viral during Euro 2012 and has since spread to other clubs. Equal parts intimidating and absurdity, plus joyful. Nothing says, we're celebrating, like mooning the other team in-game in perfect unison. It's called plunging, I believe.
Okay. See, I just think sprained ankles. That's what I think.
I don't think they're going that high. I think it's more of like a heel-toe kind of thing.
Stepping on other people's feet, man, that's grounds for a sprained ankle. I mean, I don't know. We can always go back to our youth when Polish people were constantly the butt end of being dumb jokes.
I know. I was getting ready to say, like, the most Polish thing about it is, like, turning your back to the game. Like, you know, like, but this was made famous to me by none other than Oasis, because Oasis obviously had their big comeback tour last year, and he's like, oh, we're all going to pawns. And, like, Liam is, like, telling everybody to turn around and bounce during a song and, like, not look at the stage. And there is something kind of, I don't know what you call it. Like, you don't want to miss the game, right? So it's almost like there's like this weird giddy energy of like, I might be missing something. But it's all, I don't know. There's like this build up to like, I'm so happy we scored, but I don't know. Did you play for George Reynolds?
No, he left by the time I got there.
Intensity! Because he always claimed that the other team was most likely to score a goal within the first 5 minutes after you scoring a goal.
After you scored, yeah. We still did like the 60 seconds of just ramming it back down their throats to make sure that they didn't do that. That was still a hangover of it. But I get it. Yeah, I do wonder how long that goes on. You know, everyone's jumping up and down for a minute, and it's either you're tired or someone's like, "Hey, man, game's going back on. Time to break the chain."
Yes, yeah. Maybe that's the thing is maybe it goes on until somebody turns around.
Right.
And then who's the dick? Who's the bitch? Don't be a bitch. But I want to watch the game.
Was Zawaski over there?
And that, my friends, is your World Cup Fun Fact Friday.
So tonight, before you go, we hit you up with a little thing out of the Huffington Post. Sorry, folks, it's 2 years old, but it still rings true. Man getting vasectomy when earthquake hit. Thought doctor was making a joke. So Justin Allen, a 33-year-old father of two from Horsham, Pennsylvania, got a whole lot of attention on social media Friday when he posted about his experience during an earthquake that hit the East Coast around 10:23 a.m. with a preliminary magnitude of 4.8 on the Richter scale. Let's just say it struck while he was in the middle of a very delicate procedure. A fucking earthquake happened in the middle of my vasectomy, he wrote on X, formerly Twitter. Yeah, your thoughts on? I mean, I think there's like any surgery that's taking place. I mean, like a heart surgery, brain.
Oh yeah, those are obviously worse opportunities for things to go bad.
You're about to give some woman a spinal tap while she's about to give birth. None of these things are convenient, specifically on the East Coast. But yeah, for a guy, I can understand why the old vasectomy thing, the old fun bag and a 4.8.
Yeah, I mean, I think as a race of creatures, you know, the genitals are very precious because they allow for the next generation to spawn from them. Now, I know this is the exact opposite of what's supposed to be happening in the vasectomy portion of things, but as a man who's had a vasectomy, yeah, you're numb, but you can still feel, and there's like the tugging and the pulling, and you can tell something's happening, but your brain's not registering pain, and so obviously if something squirrely's going on, like a 4-point-something earthquake, you're gonna be a little concerned about one of your, like, not your tubes being tied, but your fucking ball being fucking severed off.
Is this normal? Does the OR usually shake like this? Yeah. Calm down, buddy.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, and you're cocking, and this is the worst part, by the way, about the vasectomy, is that they put like the square hole just over your cock and balls. I have a feeling they could probably operate without that there. So it's just like let's put this on full display. And so you've got this guy down there tinkering like he's putting the fucking ship in a bottle, and then no. You better have that nitrous fucking tube in your fucking face, yeah, or there's gonna be a little bit of a panic attack. Absolutely.
Who wants more bubble gum? I feel like I'm on a water park.
Well, every time you say bubblegum, I think of you and your ball trick.
That's right. Listen, folks, it's tried and true. I was kind of waiting. Well, I did it a lot in college, and I was. Derek was like, "Hey, you should pull it out the 25 year." It's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not
sexually assaulting this entire bar.
Although
for your amusement.
there was someone who I had talked to at the 20 year who said she didn't know who I was at the 25 year. Who are you? I was like, Wes Fox. And she was like, oh, you used to spike your hair up. Sorry, I didn't recognize you. And I was like, what, sometimes in my mid-20, 25, 26, I realized that was stupid and need to grow up. So I started partying to one way, and you don't recognize me from that. And that person, I damn near was like, hey, Stacy, I think I sent some gum.
Sometimes I think some of these people are so, like, socially uppity that it's like, hey, yeah, I bet she knew who you were. I just have a feeling. You're not a forgettable guy. And I mean that in a complimentary way. Like, you have a personality that does not allow you to be, like, easily misremembered.
So there was one guy who I straight up was, nope. And he said the same to me. And I went back and looked at the yearbook a day later, and I was like, okay, yeah, he did. Still, looking at his picture, don't recognize him. Had a great, 10 to 15-minute conversation with him. It was like, okay, well, we don't remember each other. We're here. Let's, what's happened in the last 25? What's happened in 25 years?
Actually, what's happened in the last 43 years?
Yeah,
As a matter of fact,
beginning, he gives me the chunk treatment from Goonies, and then he told me that I could only.
But I've always found that those are the most intriguing people to speak to. Like, there's a couple of guys that I went to school with, always pleasant to, but didn't play sports with them, didn't have a class with them, maybe saw him in the lunchroom, like, hey, Dennis Harris, that's the one. He had a brother that was a little dopey, but
yeah.
But yeah, I always said, like, you're my favorite person, like, from school that I ever get to run into. Don't know why. You just never got to interact with you there, but I wish I had.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel the same way. And I think some of that has to do with the intrigue of, like, you didn't play sports, you didn't go out to party, and you were content.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you had to do those things to be happy, but, like, yeah, I did, like, I didn't, I don't think I ever crossed paths with you outside of the confines of the fucking school.
Well, I did all those things, and yeah, my mental health was like, through the roof, Wes.
Right. Yeah, they shouldn't. You know what? Let's go to the bar, get a shot. Let's try to hash this out.
God, yeah, it's nothing like social pressures. Like, don't avoid them or anything.
That's right. That's right. All right, folks, that's all the time we have. We'll be back next week with more Middle Class Holes. You can find us on all your social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. You can even catch us out on X. I think we still have an account there. Email us at tickleourtummies@gmail.com. This is Foxman and Murr signing off. It's been fun. We'll see you next week. Adios.